Let's get into it. It is about to be market close, 4 o'clock, but I stopped trading a while ago. But I let the market do its thing to see if the rest of the day would play out because I didn't want to trade anymore. But I wanted to come back after the market finished and see if there was anything I could learn from or saw. But yeah, today was a pretty typical no news Monday day. Just slow price action, not really too efficient, no clear draw. And today we have just been, if we go on the 5 minute, we've just been sitting in this range. So the external draw and liquidity, which is this low, this high area here, we've just been sitting in this range, shopping all day. So until we get out of this range, you can expect price to be a little bit less probable, which is cool. That's just how it goes. But going to the day, we're kind of just chopping this 1 hour fair value gap now. But going to the day, yeah, if you look at the 1 hour, we're at all-time highs. We're at all-time highs. We have this big impulse move up after the sell-off. And then as soon as we reach all-time highs, we instantly start chopping. News, sell-offs, buy up. We've established a range in this area. Now I'm expecting to accumulate. We are bullish, I would say, until proven otherwise, right? Until proven wrong. So coming into the day, I didn't really have much of a bias. We were kind of holding down here. I wanted to see this 1 hour bearish fair value gap get rebalanced to, and I marked out equilibrium of the fair value gap to see if it would reject. We are still holding the fair value gap strong. We now have one here. But anyways, going to the day, the only trade I took was over here. We had this low resistance liquidity. We had equal highs here. We had a high here, here, and here. So even though we didn't sweep any liquidity here, and it wasn't the cleanest setup ever, ES at the time was pretty bullish. ES was ripping to the upside, and I knew that if I got in here on this candle close, since it didn't take out this high, right? This high is very important because if this high was taken, then I can't enter this trade because I'm just anticipating price to at least take this high if we inverse here so I can get a break even. So I got in on this candle here, maybe even a little bit lower, and went to break even as soon as it hit this high, scaled when it came up to the equal highs, and kind of got all out around there just because price had been really inefficient choppy today. So I wanted to get a piece of the pie, made about $100. And then after that, I was pretty much done trying to take trades. We just went up straight. And then we came up here. We finally go into this 1 hour imbalance. We sweep out all the lows. We had an SMT at the time. We no longer have an SMT. But this model was complete here. So this buy side liquidity level, this red line, inside the fair value gap, we could have rejected, but the buy model at this point has been completed, right? Because we have this chop, we have the sweep of the low, we have a manipulation move under, we inverse, we come up, put it in highs, we come back down, we hold, we chop around, whatever, but then we start the buy model up, we take out the highs, and after that, the objective's taken. It's a little bit less probable price action. What do we have the rest of the day? We have the 1 hour gap in here. We come down, we put this low in, we come back up, we leave equal highs, we fail to take out this high, we then sell off, we create an SMT here. So the only thing I saw in the PM is we have an SMT at these lows, and we do have equal lows there. These are equal highs, I believe. Let's mark those out. Equal highs and lows. We have equal highs here. The market is holding bullish confluence, which is this 30-minute fair value gap right here. We are holding this in an area we expect to reject or respect to the upside. It comes down here for the 1 hour. It doesn't matter. You can mark out either one. And when we have the SMT inside this fair value gap and we run up, your first entry could have been You don't really get a super clean entry. There's no super clean inverse. This is technically the only fair value gap, so you could have gone long here. This is hindsight, right? But you could have jumped in long here. Stop below this low, 14 points. Target these equal highs. That's a 1-to-1. You scale and then go to break even. So you'd scale some off at the equal highs here, which would be a nice, and again, this is hindsight, but this is how trading works, is you see this live and you take a chance and you have a risk, and you apply the risk, right? So this would be your final take profit here. So I would say take profit here, go to break even, take profit at this swing high, take profit at these equal highs, take profit at this high. Full take profit would hit 69-point trade. That's actually, I mean, pretty solid, to be honest. That if you want to take that one. If you don't want to trade off the 1 minute there, it looks a little bit messy. You could have taken this one, but we already hit the equal highs. I actually do really like this trade here, as we put in an SMT inside an area we'd expect to reject or bounce if we are bullish. And the SMT shows a failure to go lower. Then we inverse this candle. It's good risk. You could even put it there, 10 points, and you target more than a 1-to-1 here. Even if your stop was here, it's still like a 1-to-1. So that would have been the trade I would say would be decent there, just because of the equal highs. You'd expect us to rebalance and take out some highs before going lower. We have the equal highs that we're drawn to up here. But that's a little bit of hindsight, right? I'm not going to say I would have taken that or executed it perfectly, because I still make mistakes, but that's what I would see in the chart if I was here. I'm trying to see anything else that I noticed. Yeah, I mean, overall, the market moved kind of how you'd expect it to. Now we're just chopping inside between a bearish imbalance and a bullish imbalance. I do believe we're going to go take out all-time highs, and then I think that we could then form an SMT on the higher time frame if we do take out the high and then reject. But I'm not here to predict. I just respond to what price action tells me. If we go on the 5-minute chart, let's see if we had anything. I wonder, did we have a short anywhere that we could have taken? To me, there's no clear and obvious short trade. 15-minute. So 15-minute, we're in a 15-minute bullish right now. Let's see if we respect that or hold it. We're even holding the 15-minute here. So this is a pretty clean price action, even though it's just chopping in range. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to be going range bound, just up and down, until we take an external level, until we sweep this high, until we get displacement through a low, until we start displacing lower. Then we don't have any super clear bias. So today was a little bit of a tricky day, a little bit of a patience day, a little bit of a if you don't see a trade, you don't see a trade type of day. Just recognizing price action. Honestly, maybe I shouldn't have taken this trade, but I was fine with the risk. It wasn't that big of a stop loss. It was about 10 points at most. And we had the equal highs as the target. I'm not upset with the trade. I don't think it's a bad trade, but maybe it's not a trade maybe it's a trade I wouldn't take if I had a live account. Since I'm still in an eval account, maybe I can get away with it. Because what were the bad things about this trade? We didn't sweep any liquidity. See, we come down. We don't sweep any liquidity here at all. What else? We are not bouncing out of a higher time frame for fair value gap. We're not delivering from a fair value gap, and we didn't create an SMT, and we didn't create sweep liquidity. So in theory, this is a random fair value gap. The reason why I still have confidence is because of all of these highs that we built up. I knew that once we ran this, we'd more likely go higher. But you could have said the same to the downside, right? We had a 3-minute fair value gap get broken here, and I could have used the same logic. Oh, we swept the high, whatever. We have all these lows. So looking at it now, it's not the greatest trade ever. But that's why risk management's the key, right? No strategy is any better or worse than anything else, right? Like at the end of the day, the market either goes up or down. Right now, I would say we're probably going to go up from here. Why would I say that? Well, we're bouncing out this bullish fair value gap. We're having bullish order flow all day. We just swept this internal level with no displacement inside this fair value gap. We have all these stacked highs. I would expect price to go up, right? But it doesn't have to, right? And the point I'm trying to make is that people get so caught up in being right, being wrong, and you follow your rules for a reason. You follow your steps for a reason because you want something that repeats and that you know and you're comfortable with so you can build conviction. But don't get caught up in, was this trade great? Was this trade bad? Maybe I should have avoided this trade, but I don't want to sit here and feel like I did something bad because I took the trade. I didn't over leverage. I didn't re-enter. I didn't make any bad habits. I just, maybe it's not the best setup to take. Maybe it's not the highest probability, right? So that's kind of like the learning lesson for me today is maybe don't be so eager to take this trade. Let it go and learn from it. Reasons for the trade, again, just the stacked highs. But when you can build the same case on the other side, and it's just, like I could build a case for shorts here too. Or I could build just as convincing a case for shorts as I could for the long. Therefore, means it wasn't probably clear and obvious. And that's one of the things I try and do is I only want to be taking setups that are so clear and obvious that it's like, I have to take this or else what am I doing? I wouldn't say that that's the case today. But yeah, it ended up working out. And I think the draw was higher on liquidity. And I thought we would come up here and maybe go lower. So again, going into tomorrow, unless we get a significant move to take out these highs or push lower, we'll still be in a range, and I still got to just trade based on the internal structure. And that's one of the things you got to do is just whenever you're in a range, don't trade to big draws. Don't target external highs. It's not ready to go there. It could, but price hasn't really been able to say yet which way it wants to go. So just trade internal levels. If you take, like we're here, if I took this long, I would be targeting here, maybe here, right? I could target here or here, but it might not get there because we're range bound. So it's going to go up, go down, go up. So low hanging fruit in a range. When you're trending or when you're getting that expansion move, then you can start targeting the external liquidity pools, if that makes any sense. But yeah, overall good day, good start to the week. Hope we can keep the ball rolling and have a good week. So that is the chart review. I think, what is it, day 30? Let's see, day 31. So we've been doing this for a little bit. The views have been dropping off. We haven't gained any subscribers in a while, but again, I don't care about that. It's just cool to see the numbers. I kind of want to start live streaming my trading, to be honest. Just because, and then do these recordings. I want to build like more of an audience so that I can, when I post these videos, it's kind of cool. Like I can interact with some people, get some feedback, maybe learn some stuff. I think that would be cool to have a group of people. So I'm gonna start a Instagram or TikTok or something and start pumping out some content on there. Kind of build up like TJR, Justin, Dodgy, those types of people. I don't really want to be an educator, but I do want to just build like a nice little community of people because trading's a fun game, trading's a lonely game, trading's a hard game, and I think it's cool to have some people in your circle or around you that, So building something like that would be cool. So be on the lookout for that. I'll plug my Instagram if I make one, because again, I want to live stream trading. Like, dude, it's like people. I've had some people in the comments before, and obviously it doesn't matter because I'm not like an influencer or anything. But people saying like, oh, there's always a new TJR copy or whatever. It's like, bro, everyone copies everyone. Like, you know what I mean? People don't say that. Like when someone becomes an actor, they're not gonna be like, oh, this kid's just a copy of like whoever. Like, it's not the case. People just want to do it because it's fun and it's cool and they see someone else do it. Yeah, I see TJR live stream every day on his kick. I mean, I don't watch it. I'll watch it every once in a while just kind of like to see what he's saying, but I don't like watch it to learn and stuff. I'm not like watching TJR, but I know people live stream trading. I know people have trading discords. I know people have stuff like that, and I think that's cool. So I don't know why why I'm explaining all that, but it is kind of interesting the amount of people that love to just hate. Honestly, myself included. I think that's one of the things I work on the most myself is not judge people, not worry about that stuff, because uh, this some real stuff right here. Like honestly, remove all of that from your life, and it's gonna happen, bro. Honestly, I think people are naturally, not everyone, maybe you're not, but I think a lot of people naturally just like to hate on something, and it comes from a place of just jealousy and stuff like that, envy, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're just, I don't know, maybe you're just not a great person, but I think a lot of people have that type of ill intention manifest in their mind sometimes when you see something and your first idea is just judge it or be like, oh, that's stupid or they're weird or stuff like that. And I've been seeing I see a lot of people, different spaces, trading, whatever, fitness, like all these different industries. People love to hate on people that are trying something new and getting out of their comfort zone. So I just want to say that if anyone's out there that's seeing this somehow, um, one of the 20 to 50 people that might see this video, if you guys are trying to do something new and getting outside your comfort zone and you're afraid of what people are going to think, bro, you cannot worry about it because why does it matter, dude? You know what you're doing. You know what you want to do. You know who you are. And just stick to that. Enjoy that. And try and do better, though. Don't take all criticism as like a bad thing. You know, sometimes you got to listen to what people are saying, but sometimes you don't, right? You got to figure out what's important to you. What do you really care about? What do you want to do with your life? And just go for it, man. Like, why not? Why be afraid of what other people think, right? Don't, I'm not saying to jump off the deep end and do some crazy stuff, but, or like don't do some weird stuff and justify it as like, this me, right? But don't let people hold you back from, doing something hard. Or for example, like if you want to make YouTube videos, but you think people are going to think it's stupid, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense, right? But if you want to like, go strip in some your local mall or something and you're like, I shouldn't worry about what people think. Like no, like that's weird, right? Like there's a line to the things you should and shouldn't do, but everyone gets what I'm trying to say. To be honest, people know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's like if you have something you want to do, a job you want to go after, a career, a hobby, something. Maybe you want to get into skateboarding, and you're like, man, I'm gonna look like whatever. I'm gonna look stupid out there. Whatever. Just buy a skateboard, go to the skate park, start practicing, start having fun, because that's the biggest thing you people got to realize is like there is no single other person in the entire world that's opinion actually matters of you. And just do what you want to do, be true to yourself, and just try and get better and be a better person every single day, and you'll do great. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of in a stalemate right now with in life, honestly, in terms of the trading. Like right now, I think I'm at that boring stage of trading, like the break-even phase, where it's like I'm right before I'm gonna be profitable. And it's just some mental errors, stuff like that, being able to lose, etc. And it's just kind of boring because it's like a waiting game, right? Like I feel like it's a waiting game. It's just about paying my dues, showing up every day, and boom, eventually it's gonna pay off. But I do not want to get complacent, right? I want to keep learning. I want to keep getting better. I want to keep growing. Same thing with everything. Like with this YouTube, it was growing. Now it's starting to this die down. I don't care about growing in this YouTube account, but why not? Why not? Why get stale? Why not try new things, learn? And that's what I'm trying to do with every single thing is just look at myself honestly and be like, okay, am I getting better or am I stalling? Okay, if I'm stalling, why am I stalling? Let me figure this out. Let me start getting better again. And with trading, if I really reflect, I've dialed in on my model, which is inverse fair value gaps, right? But I've also been dialing in on, so that's the entry, but I've been dialing in on when I enter them, which is SMT, fair value gap, draw and liquidity, stuff like that. So I'm just like I have my strategy. I know that I trade towards a draw in liquidity. Wherever a draw is, I look for an inverse fair value gap in that direction so I can trade towards a draw in liquidity, right? I'm starting to dial in when price action's bad. I'm trying to dial in, and that's all experience based, it's screen time. So it's like that's the reason why people strategy hop, is because it takes time, and eventually you stop learning per se, even though your learning is screen time, your learning is experience, your learning is conviction. I've got to see this trade play out 1,000 times before I'd ever be able to take this trade, hold a stop loss, right? Because the amount of times I'd have to sit here and watch this trade play out to be able to, and I'm not saying this is where I needed to hold this trade to, but this is a good example, right? The amount of times that I'd have to sit here and build conviction with trading, I go long here, right? The amount of times I'd have to trade this and let it play out and see it go from $170 to $35 to $305 to whatever it's called. The amount of times I'd have to see this play out, because live time, I don't know it's going to go here without touching this. I don't know if I'll lose right here. Right here, I don't know if I'm going to lose. The amount of times I'll have to see my model work, boom, $185 again. We were up a lot more, right? The amount of times that I'll have to see this play out over and over and over and over and over and over and over before I can even dream of having just the know-how and the skill, right? And that just comes with live experience, right? And that's why people start thinking that they're not getting better. Like if I took this inverse fair value gap, yeah, hindsight to this high, oh wow, we get in, it never went negative. Boom. Straight to take profit. 36 points, $360. 720 on one full contract. 1,400 on two contracts, right? Like this is what it is, the scalability of it. But it doesn't matter how much I can make. I could take that with 10 contracts. Let's go back. Right here, right? Let's say I've gotten a lot better trading. 5 contracts. Boom, we bought right here. Stop loss, okay, I'm risking $1,700. Oh, but my take profit is $3,600 on a 36-point move. Up 1,800, up $2,000. Oh crap. Oh, we were up $2,000 and now we were only up $900. Holy crap, I just lost $1,000. Well, hold your trade. Oh my gosh, we're back up $2,500. Oh, we're back down. We're down to $1,200 now. Oh, we're back up, right? Boom. We just made $3,700 in 21, less than 30 minutes. Point being, again, if you think that you're stalling and trading and you're not getting better, do you have a strategy? Or do you have an entry model? I do. Inverse fair value gaps. I enter on inverses. I understand turtle soup entries. I know what that means. I know that people enter off fair value gap taps, right? I know that people, whatever, enter with S&P, whatever the case is. I don't enter on those. Maybe eventually I will. Right now, I'm dialing in on my entry model, which is inverse fair value gap. Okay, cool. You have your entry model because you know it works. Your entry model, as long as it's the same thing, is good. Maybe you trade completely different stuff. You can trade completely different stuff. Footprint chart, order flow, like whatever you trade. Do you have your entry model defined? I do. Inverse fair value gap. And does it work? I've seen people win with inverse fair value gaps. I've seen myself win. I know they work. Okay, so cool. So I don't need to keep looking for an entry, right? My other confluences, how do I find my targets? Okay, so I'll have a daily bias. I'll have drawn liquidity, right? Those are where I'm targeting, right? Either daily bias, if I have a trade in the day, daily bias, or the drawn liquidity, right? Okay, so I know that now. So what do I do to improve that? Okay, I get live experience of seeing price action, seeing market maker models, using different confluences, turtle soup, fair value gaps. This is when I use bigger time frame fair value gaps. And I use this 15-minute to bounce out of here. I use those to give me confluence and learn, right? To validate my trade, to validate the drawn liquidity. Then I use SMTs, right? I have all the tools in my toolkit. I just need the live experience, the conviction. Like I said here, I could take this trade, but until I have that conviction to leave my stop loss here and let it play out for 30 minutes, I won't be as successful as I could be. And that's kind of the hard part and where I'm at these days. Is like I feel like I'm stalling in my progress. Yeah, I'm actually making tremendous progress, but I can speed up that progress if I focus on good habits. If I focus on holding the stop loss or take profit. If I focus on only taking good setups. Maybe in a year I'll only find better setups than I do now. And a setup maybe that I think is really good now I wouldn't like in a year. But as long as I'm only taking the setups I think are the best, because sometimes there's a setup that, I don't know, I'll just take this one right here, right? Okay, we've been going up for a while. I'm gonna short this inverse here and then go to break even here. Oh, we gotta stop at break even. That's not a good trade. And I know that's not a good trade. But if I see this SMT here inside the bigger time frame fair value gap, we inverse here, equal highs. Okay, that one's a little better. Boom. Only take the ones that you really like so that you can build the conviction holding the trades. Practice good habits. That's how you go from, because at some point you don't need more strategy. I don't need more YouTube videos. I don't need more time in Discords. I don't need to talk to more traders and figure out this, that, and the other, get indicators or whatever. I have my strategy. I have my entry model. I just need the live experience in the market. And it's that simple. But it's the simplicity that scares people from thinking that they're not doing enough. It makes you feel like you need to learn more. Like sometimes I feel like, man, I need to learn more. I need to know breaker blocks. I need to know order blocks, how to use them, turtle soup, how to use it, all this other stuff, unicorns and all this. And it's just too much information. Slowly learn stuff. Don't ever stop learning. But realize that you only need a few pieces to you really just need fair value gaps, drawn liquidity, and I would say SMT. If you master through watching price the drawn liquidity, just the drawn liquidity itself, you could be profitable, I would say. You know, how you're going to enter the trade, if that's all you know, I'm not sure. But drawn liquidity and fair value gaps, you could be profitable 100%. It's just screen time. And once people realize that trading is just screen time, it takes that pressure off having to know it all. Because some people like to just feel like they know it all, or they're like Neo in the Matrix and can see all the numbers floating around. That's never going to, you get that from screen time. You read the chart like a book. You see, I see this low resistance liquidity. I see whatever. And you just build cases in the market, right? And that's all it is. And that's all it ever will be. And that's what you have to look for. You have to be calm in that. And you just have to accept things for what they are and just keep showing up, keep getting better. And just grow that conviction, grow that confidence, grow that ability to just take a trade, place the trade, and not freak out about the outcome. And that's where I'm trying to get better at. This is a little bit longer of a video, but I think there were some good points in there. Honestly, some gems, psychology gems, for people that are still trying to learn stuff. So hopefully we have a good day tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys had a good day. Peace.